Story 1. My cousin died unexpectedly. On the night of his death, his older sister, whom he was very close with, woke up to the sound of running water. She found that the water was on full blast in the bathroom sink. It was the bathroom closest to her daughter's room, and her brother adored her daughter. She turned the water off. She checked on the girls. They were both sound asleep, so she went back to bed. Right before dawn, her phone rang. When she answered it, there was only the sound of heavy breathing. She hung up, heard the water running again. This time it was the kitchen. A couple days later, her brother's body is discovered. It's revealed that he was ill the night that she experienced all the water weirdness and passed away in the wee hours before dawn. Family flies in from all over the country, myself included, to show respect and attend the funeral. On the way there, she's driving me, her girls, and one other cousin. She looks at the clear blue sky, sun shining down, sighs a loud sigh, and says, "I'm not sure why, but I kept thinking it would rain today. Not thinking so much as hoping, as if heaven would cry a little for my brother." We get to the funeral. There's a ton of his friends and coworkers, more than any of us had imagined. During the service, the pastor starts talking about my cousin. What a prankster he was. Always looking for a way to cause mischief. And at that point, it starts to rain. It's so loud we can hear it inside the building. In seconds, it had went from sunny and clear to dark and stormy, complete with thunder, lightning. The storm gets crazy. More lightning, more thunder. The doors start shaking from the wind. And the pastor jokes, this is the kind of trouble that my cousin would have loved. Everyone looks kind of creeped out. My aunt, who was kind of losing it due to the unexpected loss, goes from sobbing to wailing. She stands up and in a very stern and strict voice yells out, "Stop it, Dan. Everyone came to see you and you're ruining it. Be a good boy." And I swear to you, the rain stopped immediately. The skies opened up. The clouds disappeared. The only thing we were missing was a rainbow. Fast forward a few nights later. It's everyone's last night in town, and my aunt asks us to stop by the grave to pay our respects before we leave. Everyone gets sad and somber on the way there. By the time we reach the grave, half of us are in tears. His sister says, Dan would have hated seeing all of us sad. And as soon as the last word left her mouth, the sprinklers to the cemetery turn on, and we scatter. Story 2. I was living in an apartment with 3 roommates. I worked all sorts of weird hours and would stay up late most nights. Our apartment had 2 hallways that formed an L shape. My room was at the top of the L, and the bathroom was at the corner where the 2 lines met. The door being in the inside of the middle small section, in the outside corner of our living room. I walked out of my bedroom to go to the bathroom. No need to turn on lights, because I'd made this trek 100 times before. As I left the bathroom, I turned to go to my room. Just as I turned off the light of the bathroom, there, standing where the short hallway and the living room meet, was a teenage girl, just standing there. She was wearing a white, flowery dress. She smiled at me. She didn't look evil. She just looked like a normal person standing there. I, however, freaked out and went running from my room. About 20 minutes later, I came out, turning on all the lights in the apartment as I walked through. She was nowhere to be found. However, where I saw her standing was noticeably colder than the rest of the apartment would have been on an August evening. Creepy as that was not the worst part. I lived there for another year, and I never saw her again. After I'd moved out, I was hanging out with my one roommate, who had the bedroom at the end of the hall, in the small hallway, next to the bathroom. We were talking, and I told him that I never felt comfortable in the apartment after something happened to me. And he responded, "Oh, you saw her too?" I literally nearly drove off the road when I heard this. We both described her exactly the same, finishing off each other's sentences describing her. He had seen her twice. I really didn't believe in ghosts before then. Now I believe in them, or at least something. It was creepy, and every time I tell this story, the hairs stand up on my arms. Story 3. When I was about 5, my mom and I would play this game. She would sit on the top step to the back door of our house, and I would ride my tricycle around in a circle and pretend to grab a gem from her. I called this game Volcano because I'd pretend I was riding my bike around the edge of a volcano, grabbing precious gems. One day, while we were playing this game, this lady pulls into the driveway. She's completely white, pale white, like someone had dumped flour all over her. She was wearing a white dress, like one of those late Victorian dresses with lots of lace, puffy from the waist down. She had a sun umbrella, although she wasn't using it. It was closed up, and she was holding it by the handle. As she walks up to the edge of the carport, and I ride my tricycle to the edge to meet her, I just sit there and stare at her. She looks down at me. A minute or so, she turns and leaves. I turn and ask my mom who that was, and she says, "Who? What lady?" I said, "That lady that was just here." My mom had no idea who I was talking about, because no lady had been there. It was just me and my mom. Not very spooky, but kind of weird. There was another time, there was a storm, and I looked out my window and saw a power line fall down. Sparks, the whole 9 yards. And then I saw the power line reverse, go back up, and reconnect itself. Like watching the whole thing happen, and then someone hit reverse on a tape. Weird things just happened to me, I guess. Story 4. Every time my husband tells me of paranormal experiences he and his mother have had at his house, I'm quick to dismiss or come up with some logical explanation to explain the voices and the whispers and visual things he's encountered. The house is old after all. Or the neighbors watch TV too loud. You're just overly tired and your mind is playing tricks on you. This was until we got married and I moved in. Good God, I got the chills just thinking about it. I'm upstairs, in the kitchen, washing dishes. To my left, there's a hallway that leads to the stairs of our split level. I hear a man's heavy, quick footsteps coming down the hallway. Out of the corner of my eye, I see a man pass. I call out for my husband as I hear the footsteps go down the stairs and stop where our front door is. I step out and see no one there. I see the light on in the bathroom. I hear the shower, so I figure my husband was going downstairs, heard me call his name, didn't want to do whatever it was I was going to ask him to do, so he jumped into the bathroom and turned on the shower. I open the door, and he's turning off the water. And he says, "I'm done. Do you need the bathroom?" This man takes consistent 20-minute long showers. It has been literal seconds since I was in the kitchen and chased the ghost down the stairs. But clearly he has taken a full shower. I'm still trying to put that one all together. Thanks for listening. I hope you enjoyed the stories today. The first story in particular is kind of interesting to me because when I was young, my cousin also passed away really unexpectedly at a young age. She was a teenager, and the night that she died, everyone in our family also had very weird dreams or weird experiences. And since then, we've had weird dreams or weird experiences that could have tied to her. And thanks for listening. And until next time, bye.